What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Reject Bean Podcast. How's everybody doing today? My name is Greg, and I'm joined here once again by my lovely wife, Melissa. Holla at them.
Hi, everyone.
So, we's be busy, guys. It's getting down to the wire. For those of you who all don't know, we are about to procreate.
No, we're about to expect our second child.
No, we are expecting.
We are expecting our second.
You made it sound like we were about to expect it. Like we've been expecting.
We've been expecting.
So you're full term. If you don't know what that means, right? It means the baby has all its eyes and ears.
It's fully developed. Mm-hmm. It's just waiting now.
Just waiting, man. Just sitting there. You used an example of an eviction notice, but I don't think that's an accurate. Because I guess I see the eviction notice as like a warning, right? So like,
yeah.
But I guess that doesn't make sense. Actually, now it makes more sense now that I think about it. Yeah. Well, no, so we were considering. So this is how fast. By the way, this is what this topic's going to be. It's going to be about talking about this second coming. Oh wait, no, that's Jesus. I meant to say second time around. So if you guys know, we have a 2-year-old, fantastic little thing. Just like I like to pick her up and look at her and be like, "Whoa, look at this thing! It's like growing. She just keeps on growing." But we're having another one. So now the second time around, we started talking more about like inducing stuff like that. You know, well, we were gonna try to induce with the first one, right?
Well, with the first one, it was different because we weren't with our family. We were
in Nebraska.
So,
and we are from EP, which is where we're currently at.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That is correct.
Maybe there's some people from El Paso who don't know we're from El Paso. This is where we're from. And so Melissa had said that she might induce, and she was saying, "I'm going to give this baby an eviction notice." But I feel like eviction notice is more like, it doesn't make sense because when you induce, aren't you like forcing the baby out, essentially? So it's more like,
no, I told the baby that I'm handing out an eviction notice, and then on the day of the day that I get induced,
that's when the repo men give.
That's when I throw all her.
That's when you repossess her.
That's when I throw all the baby's things out and like, you gotta lock her out.
Damn. So you repossess all her belongings inside of you. I mean, what does she have in there? Like a sack and a tube, basically?
Well, I take that thing out.
That's all she has, right?
Yeah.
She
leaves with that.
Yeah, that's all she... Oh, okay. So she could take that with her?
Yeah.
Well, doesn't the cord get stuck inside you? Man, see, this is crazy, man. Because you only get part of it cut off, right? They don't yank the rest of it out, do they? What is it attached to? I don't even know. I probably should look more into this. Like, I know one end is attached to her belly button, but where does the other end go?
Is it attached to my belly button?
No, to hers.
Oh.
But one's attached to something else, somewhere inside you. I remember when our first daughter was born, and like I saw the umbilical cord like still hanging out of you, and I was like, "Whoa, what are you gonna do with that thing?" But then I never saw it. I just they sewed you back up. I don't know if they like shoved it back in there.
It's attached to the placenta. It comes out with the placenta.
Oh, the rest of it does? I don't know. See, I don't even know.
Yeah, the baby comes out.
By the way, this is really great if you guys are listening to this while you're eating dinner or something.
The baby comes out with because the baby tears out of the placenta.
Mm-hmm.
Comes out with the umbilical cord attached to it because the umbilical cord is attached to the placenta. Cut that, and then they clean the baby and they give one last push for the placenta to come out, which you remember.
I did.
And that's
that's
what the umbilical cord is attached to.
And then the nurse got mad at me, and I was like, whoa, sorry. The nurse was like, "Don't say that." And I'm like, "Yo, did you just see that thing that come out?"
That nurse was very intense.
She was. I mean, I guess she's probably seen a lot more stuff than I have. So for me, she didn't empathize with me. I had virgin eyes. I've never seen anything like that. So I was like, "Come on, give me a break." But anyway, this next baby is gonna come with its own set of challenges. as we stated before, the first child we ever had, we weren't really around family. We had like a lot of close friends and stuff like that. But I mean, for the most part, we were doing it on our own.
We're doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, she's already potty trained. She doesn't wear, well, obviously she doesn't wear diapers. She doesn't breastfeed anymore. She drinks.
Well, I mean, she wasn't being like, she was only breastfed for.
Well, no, but
like,
I know, like some people,
4 months.
Some kids can still like breastfeed, and
Oh, you can breastfeed until
that's crazy
for forever.
Jeez. Well, and then she doesn't like have like a binky. I don't know. I'm not really.
Pacifier.
I don't have a lot of like kids to kind of gauge what they're supposed to be doing, but
I mean, there's like lots of people. There's lots of things, because we like already knew, when we had her, that we didn't want her to be still having a pacifier when she was talking and walking around.
Yeah. Or sleeping with us all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong, if you're a parent that's still, their kid still has the pacifier, and you're still trying to kind of wean them off of it, but we knew, because that's what we wanted. We didn't want them to be attached to a pacifier, to have to put them down, and when they were younger that was okay, but we wanted to make sure when they got older they didn't need that.
Yeah. I mean, it helped. I have a lot of, like, my family's really big, so I get to see all sorts of babies and, my brother and sister. So, like, I don't know, I think I kind of based some of the expectations for my child on, like, those, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was like that, like, she would tell us, like, okay, like, no more, we're bottle fed because my mom couldn't breastfeed. She was like, no more bottle, no more binky, no more whatever. You can't sleep with us all the time.
Yeah.
My mom would always try to have us sleeping in our own beds and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know. That's the only thing that I have to go on.
You see, for me, I'm the baby, so yeah. I just went.
Where did
off.
that come from?
I just went with what, like, I would seem like I don't think I want to do that.
Right. Yeah.
I think I want to do it differently.
And now we're having this another one now, because this comes with its own set of challenges. Because, I mean, now we have family, but we love our family, But though, when you involve more people, they say it takes a village to raise a child. But, when you involve more people into your child's life, whether you like it or not, you're gonna start to get some different inputs, and you're gonna start to maybe second guess a little bit what you're doing, and you're more like conscious and aware of everything that you have to decide. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. now that we're, we feel like, okay, we have a 2-year-old, so we're at least experienced enough to raise a 2-year-old, right? Or up to a 2-year-old. But now that we have another baby, it's like, do we want to do this? Like, how are we going to do this? How is this going to work? Because, like, now, like my mom's like right there, and your mom's doing this. Like, so we don't even know, because we're like on uncharted territory. It's almost like we have to start all over again. I
mean, I think it's gonna be more difficult. Like, it's great that we have our family close by now, but
yeah,
we have our family close.
well, also, because you brought up a good point, because like, yes, we know how to raise a child at least up to being a 2-year-old.
You're the one who said that, but yeah.
Okay, no, but no, hold on, I'm getting to the point. But then you also were saying, like, okay, yes, but we don't know what it's like to raise a baby with a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's like we're like kind of familiar with one part of it, but then there's a whole new, like, whoa, how's that? Like, we don't know how she's gonna react.
Yeah.
What if she hates him? I always go back to that scene. This nostalgia right here. Have you guys ever seen the Rugrats movie, the first one? I always like think of that scene where, like, Dill gets introduced to, or Tommy gets introduced to Dill for the first time, and he, like, yanks his nose, and like both start crying. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, what if Elena does that? What if she's like, look, there's a baby, and then she just like this is, I don't want this baby in my house. I don't know. It's crazy. Man.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna be a little bit more challenging being so close to family. Just because, family.
Your face. She's like, Greg's family now.
No. Just family likes to put their 2 cents in, and since they're going to be around more.
Everybody does.
Yeah, but I mean, it was different with our first, because we were so far away. And we get people who be like, oh, well, this is what I did, and maybe you should try this, and, just like little helpful comments,
Yeah.
But now, since, and like with family, we only saw them through the phone, and, they'd just be all in love with seeing their grandchild, and they didn't really have that much comments except,
Well, it's also easier to ignore them when you're on the phone.
yeah, you're like, uh-huh.
Sure.
Look at your grandchild.
Yeah. Anyway, getting some bad reception, as opposed to like, now they get to see them more often and they're saying these things while they're in the room.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna try it, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, cause we do get a lot of that with our first child too,
Yeah.
where, our family would be like, come on, like, just, it's not gonna hurt them, and we're like, no, but we don't want to do that.
But isn't that weird that because there's like memes about that, it only happens when it's not your kid.
Yeah.
Because I think we kind of, I don't know, maybe kind of similar thing happened when our friends got, because our friends, by the way, shout out to Christian and Loretta. Ooh, shouting you guys out on the podcast. If you don't listen to it, then what's wrong with you? Anyway, so when they had their daughter, it was kind of easy to also make those kinds of like, well, like, why are you doing this or why are you doing like that? I mean, we weren't the type of people that were like, wow, I can't believe you letting your kid do that. But it is kind of easy to get into that, like, kind of like, hey, like, what's the problem? Like, oh, is that really an issue? Like, did you really need to do it that way?
Yeah.
But then when you have your own kid, it's like you see. It's like your whole perspective changes, and now everybody's doing the same thing to you. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you not seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Like, how? No, I'm not going to give her another piece of candy. She hasn't eaten a single morsel of food. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting how that happens. Because I know my mom, I know for a fact that my mom did not, like, some of the things that she's suggesting to me now, like, she would have been like, no. Like, heck no. Like, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. But then now she's telling me to do the same thing. So it's kind of weird. It's like catching me off left field sometimes. She's like, what? You going to let her do that? Like, okay. Because if that would have been me, like, I would have been, slapped outside the head with a chancla or something. You know what I'm saying? I just like how you're like, yes, I agree. It's okay, baby. You don't have to badmouth my mom. You could just say.
I'm not gonna badmouth your mom.
You could just say what's on your mind. It's okay. I'm kidding. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. But I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's gonna be some good. Obviously now our kid's gonna have someone to play with.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to keep over there. It's because kids at that age just have like a weird energy. It's like. They don't really know what they want to be doing.
They want to be doing everything and nothing at the same time.
You think if they could like split into like different little versions of
Why
themselves?
do you want to create more children?
No, I'm just saying if they could, you think they would, like, so they can do everything?
I don't know.
That would be pretty crazy if they could do something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I had another point before you brought that up, but I don't remember what I was gonna say. Whoa, there's a fly in here.
But I don't know what I was going to say either.
I have this horrible thing where I just kind of go off on a tangent, but like the tangent is kind of sensical, so you kind of get distracted. It's like look over here. Let me dangle this in front of you. That sounded really weird.
Yeah.
Should have said that. Let's see. No, but yeah, everybody's always gonna have their opinion, especially when it comes to raising children. Like, I try not to be that person, that typical person. Like, oh, I hate when people say, like, oh, you'll know, like, you'll see. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when people say that.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know why it just irks me the wrong way. Cause it's like. You want me to see? Like, you want me to feel your pain? Like, just tell me that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of weird to wish somebody ill.
Yeah.
Be something like that.
Oh
bad,
yeah,
you know
we got that with our first kid, like, because when you have a baby, they're supposed to go through sleep regressions.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's, you know, there's I think it's like 3 months, 6 months, like it's they're supposed to go through sleep regressions. Like at 6 months and 9 months, they're supposed to go through one, and our doctor kept like telling us that, you know, like, oh, you know, she might go through a sleep regression, and we're like, okay. And then like people would tell us too, like, oh, if she goes through a sleep regression, do this or don't do whatever. And she actually would do a sleep regression for like a day, maybe 2, and then back to normal.
Yeah.
You know, like every kid is different.
Right. It didn't hit us as hard.
Yeah, but when she turned 2, oh my God. like she wasn't like horrible, you know, but it was more than she's ever been, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like I know this isn't terrible because you still are going to sleep, but I want you to go to sleep when I want you to.
Well, I mean, it changes, but like it's different degrees for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One time, one of my friends said something. He said, "What did he say?" Oh yeah, he said people talk about terrible 2s, but terrible 3s or whatever.
Oh, the three natures.
Yeah,
the three natures.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? So like, there's so many different variables. You know what I mean? And it's gonna change from kid to kid. That, you know, you never. It's kind of hard to tell. I feel like our kid, you know, didn't. I think she's kind of responding, different now because there's so many more people that want to see her, that
and spoil her.
Yeah, exactly. So when it was just us two, you know, she kind of. I mean, she tested us a little bit, but she wasn't like that crazy. I think now it's like she's got, you know, both grandmas on her side, both grandpas on her side, and it's you know, we're pretty much outnumbered at this point as far as like people to like discipline her. I mean, your sister does a good job of like keeping her in check.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Vanessa just likes to fight with her.
She's just like, no, I gotta win. And that's the thing, man. It's hard to like not get to that mentality where it's like I have to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she cares about being right. I don't think kids, not in the sense of like, I have like the authority to tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying?
No, all she knows is that she wants something, she's not getting it, so she's gonna try to do whatever she can to get it, which is defying us or throwing a tantrum.
I know, but we have to. It's removing yourself, like get the ego out and being like, okay, like she's not doing it to say that I'm incompetent or that I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. She's doing it because she doesn't know what she's saying. But like sometimes you look into her eyes and I'm just like, I think you know that this is making me upset. And I do, you know, people say that your second kid is supposed to be the opposite.
Oh my God!
So
and that's what scares me because our first child, she was a really good baby. She
slept.
She was a really good baby. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, she slept a lot. She
just hit every milestone when she did. You know, she was she's very, you know, she was obviously very healthy. She was fed well. Her mannerisms were very on point. You know, she hardly cried because, well, I mean, she was the only thing I was paying attention to because I wasn't working at the time. And I'm not working right now either. But I mean, she was like, she had my full focus. So like every 3 hours I made sure she was fed. And every 3 hours I'd check her diaper, make sure it was changed. So she hardly cried because she needed something because I was always on top of it.
And now she cries for everything.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, and then she was fine in the car seat. She was fine when we took her places. She was just an amazing baby. You know, she slept through the night early on. You know, she kept sleeping through the night. And she'd take incredible naps, and she was just amazing. You know, and it scares me because since they say the second child's the opposite, I'm just like, oh my goodness.
You're gonna have a baby that never wants to sleep, you know.
Never wants to eat.
Yeah, never wants to eat, never wants to sleep. But I don't know. Does that mean that when our next child, grows up to be 2, then she might be a little bit more chill?
I don't know.
A little bit more standoffish. Because, our daughter right now, she's pretty friendly.
She's pretty
she's
friendly.
Curious. She goes up to people and she won't talk to strangers, but she'll be around them.
She'll wave at strangers, but
yeah,
if they like come close to her and say hi to her, she'll be like, "Oh, no.
Whoa, back up.
I don't know you."
Yo, back up, dog. She doesn't say dog.
No.
She says homie. Okay. I don't know. Like I said, we're definitely in uncharted territory here.
Yes. And
a big thing that's changed is that we don't really have a place like of our own. Like back in Nebraska, we had our house. I had the job. You had a job.
Oh, I didn't have a job at the time.
Well, yeah.
I didn't start working again until she was
like 1, right?
Almost 1. Like she was.
Because we put her in daycare pretty much around that time, right?
Yeah, she was. I think she was like 6 months.
Man,
maybe even.
And that's when we realized that daycare, man, seems like $1 billion industry of how much you're paying. And yeah, that was crazy,
No, yeah, a year. Sorry.
And now we're gonna have to. I mean, I don't know. I think we've talked about what we would do. Or who's gonna take? You have a bug in your water?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Do you want me to kill it?
There's too many bugs here.
Is it drowned? Is it drowned? How do you say drown? Has it drowned? Is it dead? I guess I should just ask that.
Did it drown?
Did it drown? Oh, okay. Is it drowned? Does it make sense? Is the bug alive? Is it moving? Stand by.
It has drowned.
Oh, okay. It has drowned. Okay. Well, there goes that water. I mean, it's probably not that dirty. It's a little bug. How much bacteria can it have?
Seriously?
Sorry, guys. We're leaving a lot of long pauses. It's just that this topic's crazy. Like, it's making me think more about the future than anything. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna set my expectations to like a realistic level and say that we're definitely gonna be more prepared for certain things. And then hopefully, right? And then we're just gonna take the new things as they come.
Yeah, I mean, like we were pretty good with our first child. We were really. I would always feel like an amazing parent when we go see the doctor. Yeah. Because something.
They'd always tell you like you're doing everything right.
Yeah, and then like if she was sick or something like that, and we'd like be treating her, how I felt like she should be, treated. Like I would suck out her nose, I would put give her Motrin or Tylenol for any discomfort, and we would go see the doctor, and the doctor would be like, "You're doing everything right. Like that's pretty much all you can be doing," and I'd be like, "All right," so. I'm not totally effing up this parenting thing.
That feeling really never goes away, because every day to day something new could happen. You don't know, you never expect, Like I never expected our daughter to take a bite out of a urinal. Like that was. If you guys want to hear that,
that was all you.
That was all me. By the way, what is up with like restaurants? Like, I get most restaurants, you go to a women's bathroom and they have that little koala changing station thing. But they don't have, not every single restaurant or even like store has those changing tables in the guys' restroom.
Well, some of them don't even have them in the women's restroom because that restaurant that we went to didn't have it in the women's restroom either. Yeah,
it was a sushi place. People probably don't get a lot of kids there, but I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. But yeah, so that particular restaurant didn't have any, but I just think it's weird sometimes where you see like a place that has it for the women, but not for like the men. I'm just like, what if it's you even said this, or what if it's like a single dad?
Yeah.
Like a parent. It doesn't have to be like our situation, if I have my little girl, it could be a guy with a boy.
Changing his boy, yeah.
So, you definitely need that. So that's that. We were in a situation where I had to change a diaper, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to use the floor of the bathroom. So I put something down. I didn't just
the changing pad.
I put they have like a little plastic kind of pad, and I just put it down so she wouldn't be on the ground, like the nasty bathroom floor. And so I saw her. I changed her. I cleaned her up, and then just like in the moment of from the time that for me, like I putting the diaper in the trash can, I turned around, and I just see her. I just see her by the urinal, and like she just has her mouth open. She's like grabbing it with both hands, and she's just like just opened it up, and I almost like blanked out. I just like rushed over, and I just grabbed her, and I like washed her hands, and like I kind of like put a little bit of water in her mouth, and I was just like, oh my god. I didn't know what to do. I just came out and I looked at you, and I remember you told me that I looked like I'd seen a ghost or something. I was just like, babe, I want to tell you, I changed her, and I looked over for a second, and I'm not sure, but I think she might have licked or like took a bite out of the urinal. I'm so sorry. And you were like, well, I mean, what are we gonna do about it? Like,
yeah, I was like,
she's fine.
I was like, she looks fine, but I mean, what can we do about it now? She already did it.
I was just like, oh, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't like it wasn't the cleanest urinal. It wasn't like super dirty, but I was just like, oh, that couldn't have tasted good, So I mean, little things like that, It's funny, but like I'm just like from that moment, what did I learn? Is like, oh, I gotta watch her. Like I can't take my eye off of her. If I'm gonna do something, I'll do it with her. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I am looking forward to like the car seat days.
Oh, yes.
Because at that point she was already walking and stuff. But like the car seat days, man, those are awesome. Those times like you could still kind of have a social life because people are like, hey, let's go to this restaurant.
I mean,
like, okay.
We can't because we have the 2-year-old.
It's kind of hard now, but yeah. But back then, it's like, hey, let's go to this restaurant. So you're like, okay, let's put in the car seat, and then they put what is that thing called? They put those little like sling things, like a little like table made out of like I don't know.
It's like a hammock.
Yeah, like a hammock. You just like shove it in there. Or you can that trick that lady showed us, where you take the high chair and then you just turn it around. You flip it over, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Blew my mind. And then you just set them down, and she's like sleeping. People are like, oh, let me see your babes. Don't touch her.
Don't wake her up.
Don't you dare. You can look at her, but don't touch her. Don't breathe hard. But yeah, man, those days are great. But now we're gonna have to do that. Also have a toddler running around. We're gonna have to get a leash or something. Do they still do that? Do they still do leashes? Yeah. People used to say that was like child abuse. And I'm like, oh, that's because your child doesn't run away.
That person was a genius.
It's because your child doesn't run away in oncoming traffic, and you're like, oh my god, if there was only a way.
I would rather have your child on a leash than them run away and get hurt.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Also makes it harder for them to take your kid.
So I am pro leash.
Also makes it harder for them to take your kid. Yeah. Just like, because they'll be dragging you along.
You just have to
wrap yourself. Yeah, you just wrap yourself around I just picture like the robber or whatever is like takes your kid. He just like gets like yanked and like just like his legs go flying. Yeah.
Yeah, babe.
Kidnapping is not a funny thing. I just think that particular like that visual is funny to me. But I don't want anyone's kid to get kidnapped. Just I want to make that perfectly clear. Very perfectly clear. There was something else I wanted to talk about. What was I going to talk about?
But yeah, I mean, like with the whole kidnapping thing, whatever, because now, since we're going to be parents of 2, like I think about that now. Well, I thought about it before just having our daughter, but like I think about it more because I was like, all right, so how am I going to put them in the car so I can make sure nobody tries to take my child, No. And like I even told you that, all right, when we have this baby, this is how you're gonna put the kids in the car.
So you wanted me to take both children around to the side of the car where I'm gonna Like clip, clap, clap, clap. Or I'm gonna like buckle. Well, you don't really buckle. You just like snap it in. There you go. Well, you snap in the car seat and be holding onto our other daughter's hand.
No, you put.
Oh no! I'm just gonna let her go in there.
And
like,
and tell her to sit in her seat.
Yeah, go sit in her seat and then
click the baby in.
And then that way I can just go around the other side and strap our toddler in. Oh, that's a lot of work. Not just kidding. No, but yeah, that makes sense. So that way you kind of keep eyes on both of them at the same time.
I have like this huge fear, someone taking my child.
I mean, our children are beautiful. They probably would take them. But
it's just, you don't think about it when you're not a parent, but then like when you're a parent and you hear all these stories, which, it's a lot of social media, that puts that scare into people, but like you always have that in the back of. I mean, I don't like I don't like you being so far away from our daughter. Like, I'm always like, why are you so far away from her? Get closer to her. Like, what if something happens? You should be able to go grab her.
Right. No, you're right. I mean, it's when you least expect it. I don't know. Like, to me, it's...
But now I'm going to have to worry twice as much.
Now you're going to be like, why are both our daughters so far away from you? And I'm going to be like, that's fine, You're
like, I can't split myself in half.
No, I can't.
You need to do better.
I mean, geez, I feel like I'm getting split in half now. Between you and her now. I don't even know what's going to happen. Sometimes in the mornings, our kid will like come late with us, like in the mornings and just hang out. So like now I'm thinking like, we're going to have three people that, we're kind of sharing, or 4 people we're trying to share a bed in the morning, and kids don't sit still. We as adults, we know like, I'm just gonna lay here, I'm just gonna relax. Kids are like, I'm gonna lay here with mommy, I'm gonna go hug daddy, I'm gonna go grab my my tablet, I'm gonna jump around a little bit, I'm gonna go under the covers, maybe I'm gonna adjust violently. Like they don't have any chill. It's like,
no chill.
They have no etiquette. They have no bed etiquette or couch etiquette. Or anywhere etiquette. Any sitting arrangement etiquette. Any lounging etiquette. There you go. How about that? Any lounging etiquette. So, that's what we got to look forward to. But obviously we're excited. Very excited.
Yeah.
Just a little like, you get those thoughts. Like, what if this happen? What if that happens?
Yeah, I mean, especially with me, since I'm for people who don't know me, I'm a huge like worry. Like, I will worry about everything and anything that comes to mind, know.
But that usually makes you more prepared. Like, you're usually the one that comes up with the plans.
Because I like to be prepared. That's why. That's one of my things is I like to think of scenarios and always have a plan for that type of scenario. So like when things get like changed like last minute, it kind of makes me go crazy and kind of like amps up my anxiety.
Yeah.
But I feel like me worrying about things like gets me more prepared for things because I'm always thinking about things.
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of, it's almost like you're giving yourself a heads up. I mean, the heads up is usually sometimes like not not needed because like that stuff's probably not going to happen. But in the off chance that stuff like that does happen, you're kind of like a little bit more prepared, or at least you have like a plan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm more. That's why whenever I kind of don't see eye to eye whenever you do stuff like that. When you're like, why are you so far away from them? Like I'm like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's more like I assess the situation. Like that I always think of that Incredibles 2 where what does the dad say? He's like, I'm processing. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm processing. I'm taking in information. Like that's how I am. Like I look at the situation. Okay, let's see. She's about 5 feet away. I can run way faster than her, so I could definitely catch up.
You can't run faster than a
car. And I'm just like, okay, I'm listening. I don't hear a car coming. I don't see a car coming. I'm looking that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like that's kind of how I am. I'm more like I'm always kind of buffering. And I think women are just better at kind of like high speed internet. It's like bang, like I'm right there. But guys are more like
dial up.
Yeah, like AOL. But I'm still there. Like I'm getting there. I'm just kind of like, like have you seen Smallville? Have you ever seen Smallville? Okay. So
You know this.
Okay, hold on. But there's hold on. Let me tell you this analogy, this metaphor, because it's very powerful. Okay. So there's by the way, spoilers. I just kidding. If you haven't seen Smallville now, like
you're probably never gonna see it.
And you're my age, if you're 26 and you haven't seen Smallville, don't. You're not gonna like it. I think you have to watch it when you're a little bit younger. I don't know. You might like it. Go ahead and watch it. Just not the last season because it sucks. Anyway, so Clark Kent, right? Tom Welling, he can run really fast because he doesn't know how to fly yet, but he can run really fast. But he meets what was his name? Damn it, Clint. I don't know. Anyway, whoever they were, whichever version of the Flash was in Smallville. I forgot that guy's name. I'm not a DC fan. But anyway, so the Flash is in there, right? And one time, he's like running and he's trying to save somebody, but then he sees the Flash like run in front of him as he's running like really fast, and he saves the person first. So then he tries to catch him, and like that's how I feel. Like you and I, that's how I like. I'm Clark Kent, and I'm just kind of running like whoa, I'm pretty fast, and then I just see you just like pass me, and I'm like what the heck is going on? Like, how'd you do that? Like,
but I can only do that intellectually. Physically,
no, not physically. Yeah,
definitely not.
Physically, I would trust myself running to grab her. I don't know. You might have one of those like adrenaline rushes. Yeah.
Well, definitely for my child, but
I mean,
I would still trust you being faster.
Some of the the things that you did, like just when you were giving birth or a kid, like you were. Damn, it's like it was like the craziest sport I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen like UFC fights and like NASCAR crashes, but you were in there, no food, like no water, no nothing to eat.
Throwing up,
no sleep. Yeah, like constantly throwing up, in pain. You got a needle in your back. And I'm just like, are those the dogs eating? By the way, our dogs. Shout out to our dogs. Having a drink. Go ahead and just finish up that drink there. We're just going to sit here and wait for you to finish. That just sounds really loud in my headphones. I don't know if that's like super loud at your guys' end.
I don't think they'll hear it. Once you take the background noise off.
And now a word from our sponsor. This is brought to you by Avengers Endgame, by the way, which we already saw. We're going to spoil it for you right now. We're going to spoil it for you.
Okay, finish what you were saying.
Ant-Man shrinks. That's it.
Go for it.
Over.
Finish.
What was I saying?
Me during the process of labor.
Yeah, during that process, man, like you were like a superhuman. Like I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, you were pushing so hard that like your blood vessels were popping, like in your face and whatnot, and like they just kept telling you like, all right, keep pushing, and like I was like, oh, she's not gonna be able to do it anymore, and then you were just like, keep on pushing. I was like, what? Like, where are you getting this energy from? Like I love running, you know what I'm saying? But like after, if I push myself like to the last minute, like I'm not gonna push myself again. Like I'm done, you know what I'm saying?
No, it was during that whole process, I was tired, I was in pain, and I was, I couldn't do it anymore, but that moment when they told me that, okay, it's time to push, I just got like this sudden burst of energy, and I was like, let's do this. Let's get her out. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, but like even after, like you were still like you didn't go to. It's not like people think like, oh, like she probably like went to sleep for hours. Like, no. You were still awake. Like I think you, if anything, you nodded off for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we really. Well, I should say we. I don't think you really slept until like maybe a couple weeks after. Like where you actually were like, okay, like I'm just gonna like let my body rest finally, because it goes like from like labor, right, to like learning everything about your baby. Like, okay, how do I do this? How to do it? And then like every 20 minutes or like every 20 seconds, you gotta like make sure your baby's breathing right.
I mean, like not everyone goes through that, but like for me, I was, since I worry a lot, and like I say that now, but I'm not one of those.
What are you doing?
Well, there's a bug over here. I'm not one of those.
You're stepping away from the microphone.
I'm not one of those people. I'm not a parent who hovers. Like
yeah.
I like.
Well, do you think it had something to do with the fact that she wasn't in the room with us? Because we were kind of like...
No, I still would have done
You
it.
still would have done it? Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we had a monitor, by the way. Like an actual like video monitor.
Yeah, it's just, because, I got it in my head, about SIDS, the sudden infant death syndrome. So I was constantly like waking up and checking the monitor, seeing if I could see her breathing. I'm like, okay, then I'd sleep, and then I'd wake up again, make sure I could see her breathing, and then I'd sleep. But like I was just like so terrified of her, just dying, just out of nowhere. I kept having to make sure she was breathing.
Right. And she did.
And she did. I mean, even for like the couple like months, like I'd still wake up and make sure she was breathing, and I'd go back to sleep. But obviously I'd start sleeping longer,
Right.
because that worry it was still there, but it wasn't as much as like in the first few days.
Are you gonna do the same? Do you think you're gonna do the same thing?
Oh, probably.
You're like most definitely. Jeez. Well, at least let's hope for a shorter, like delivery.
Oh,
Like
yes.
not was it like 14 hours, roughly?
It was long.
It was a long time. Because we got sent back from the hospital twice.
Yeah, I mean, I technically went into, like, I got admitted in the hospital on Sunday morning at 9.
Yeah.
And I didn't have our daughter until Monday at 4:10 in the morning.
That's nuts. It's like a
Yeah, but I was
marathon.
technically in pre-labor all of Saturday.
Yeah.
So, all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and then Monday. I had her Monday. It was fun. So glad to be doing it again.
Sorry.
I mean,
that's
it's completely worth it, in my book, because you come out with wonderful kids. You
hopefully,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, even if, people look at your kids and they think like they're horrible people, like, but to you, your kid is like the most amazing person. Like, yeah, they're assholes sometimes, but they're just amazing.
They're your assholes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you create them. I think I don't know, something kind of like very.
Yeah, because like sometimes I look at our daughter, I'm just like, oh my god, you're testing me so much, like you're being a jerk right now.
Yeah.
And you're making me be mean to you because you don't want to listen and all this stuff. But then she does like these sweet little things, and I'm just like, my heart is melted.
Well, so sometimes I look at her and it takes me a minute to kind of like really grasp the reality that she's like made out of you and I. You know what I'm saying? Like I see her and like I see your face and I see my face, but then I'm like seeing it's like a brand new face, and I'm just like you're a brand new person, and I see how she's growing and like how she has like she starts to get like these little mannerisms or like a little like
Her little attitude.
personality,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes I just stare at her and I'm just like I'm trying to grasp like oh my god, like this is like she exists, like she's a thing, and like, she's a person, and she's like
She's a thing.
she's gonna evolve, she's gonna grow, she's gonna have thoughts, complex thoughts that I don't know, but I had a big, I was involved in like the making of her. So that's something weird. You know what I'm saying? Like
You were there.
I was there. I was present. And like again, I'm gonna say the same thing, because I remember when our daughter was a baby and she was still inside you. And
For a second, I thought you were gonna say conceived. I was like, okay.
I remember the day. It was a cold.
It probably was
cold
cold.
December rain. Yeah, we were in Nebraska, so we're probably freezing. No, because she was born in winter time, so.
Yes, but our first daughter was.
Oh, but I mean, Nebraska's cold all the time.
She She was a Valentine's Day baby.
Yeah, she was a Valentine's. I think we've both hypothesized that.
Yes, she was a Valentine's Day baby.
I don't even remember what we did. I mean, obviously, I have an idea of what we did that day. Hey-o.
Yeah, for us, it was like we were finally alone because we had sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry, I'm sorry. We had somebody living with us at the time, and she had went out for the night. So we're like, we have the house to ourselves, and
we're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, make a baby. No, I'm gonna say
no. that
sorry, I get carried away. I mean, I don't know what else we could say. I mean, we just we're excited. It's gonna be crazy. Speaking of crazy, no, I'm kidding. Imagine that's how I introduced our next guest.
Don't.
I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say about that?
Nothing. Just it's gonna be a new, exciting, frustrating, wonderful adventure that we're about to embark on.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah.
And
and it's probably gonna suck sometimes.
It is. I mean, being a parent is definitely one of the hardest, most rewarding, everything that people say, job in the world.
Yeah.
And, it's
very, like, what's it called? Like, makes you very humble, I think. Maybe not to everyone, but, like, I think to me, I can speak personally, like, it was a very humbling experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, people say, like, oh, it's really hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, like, it's more complex than that, because, a lot of things are hard.
Yeah.
Changing a tire, technically, is hard. I mean, people say, like, oh, it's easy because of all the steps, but, like, parenting is not just hard, it's like, constantly, like, challenging you, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you're like you kind of face to face with like your insecurities, with as a parent, you have to be a teacher, right? A doctor, therapist. Yeah, you're all these things, and this child's looking up to you as like a person, putting in quotes, a person that knows better, you know what I'm saying? Like and like it's weird, like you have to kind of put your ego aside, like I said before, and really like I'm shaping this life, and this is where you kind of realize like, oh man, like I don't even know what the hell my life is, you know what I'm saying? So you're that's when you start picking up everything that you've learned. Like so, when people say like you just figure it out, you really do, but don't feel like you don't have the tools. Like you have the tools, you just never use them because they don't apply to anything. Right now, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you learn calculus in school, you're probably never going to use that unless you go to a job that requires you to do that all the time. It's the same thing. All these little things that you, in your life that you kind of like, you think they're going in one out the other. As soon as you're face to face with this tiny person and you're like, I got to give this kid some direction. You're like, let's see what I got in my tool, but let me see what I got in my pocket. It's like, oh, I forgot I had this. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a trial and error sometimes, a lot of the time, and it's definitely gonna be another trial and error for us again. Yeah,
I mean, Elena, and the first kid is always the one that's like the what is it? The crash test dummy.
The guinea pig.
I'm the oldest, so yeah, like I kind of see like the difference between like me and my sister and my brother. Like I feel like my mom, I joke around because like I told my mom, I was like, I feel like the more kids you have, like the less, like the not more relaxed, but like the more kind of, like you kind of let things kind of wash over you a little bit better.
I mean, well, a lot of the people, joke about that. They're like, there's been commercials like, oh, the first baby, you're like, you're being very gentle with them and stuff like that. Then the second baby's like, the baby fell in mud and you're like, they're fine.
Yeah. And then the third, by the fifth one, you're just like, just, have your brother do it or whatever. Like, where's the baby? I mean, it's extreme, but it's kind of true, like I'm not as anxious as I was with our first kid because I kind of I have a general idea of what to expect. I was about to do general idea. About to salute. But you know, I'm actually more. I think I'm more anxious as far as like where our toddler is going. Like that's what's kind of giving me more like oh man, like what am I gonna do, or like how's she gonna react to the baby? Like I said. So I mean, you're always gonna be on edge about something when you're a parent. Like you're always gonna be on edge.
You see, I'm more anxious about, well, again, our first child. I mean, how she's going to. Because our first child, she's actually, you know, she's very compassionate, and she's very, you know, she likes to be hands on, and she loves to play with her baby dolls and feed them and pretend to change them, and you know, and do all that stuff. So I'm very anxious, you know, to see, because I'm not going to let her do a lot of those things. Yeah, I'll let her hold her baby sister when she's sitting down and stuff like that, but I'm not going to, you know, let her do those things. And she's very stubborn, which she does get from me, and she's going to she's going to throw
a fit.
So much fits because I'm not gonna let her bathe the baby. You know, I'll let her help and stuff like that. But she's but she's gonna get mad that I'm not letting her do it by herself, or or feed the baby by herself.
She's not good at holding things.
No,
you should see how she holds her babies. Like she basically chokes them. She's like grabbing.
I mean,
by
you know,
the neck.
she's 2, but you know, I'm more anxious about that because I'm like. Well, what am I going to do with a screaming toddler, you know, and I'm trying to feed the baby, or I'm trying to take the baby a bath, or I need to take a bath, or, you know, all this other factors that are going to, you know, take place because our daughter's stubborn and she likes to do things on her own, which, again, she gets from me. So,
way to go, baby. You made her too independent.
So, you know, I'm very anxious to see, like, you know, because it's going to be new territory for me. Yeah. And it's going to be something that I'm going to have to try to figure out, you know, especially because since you're going to school, you know, I'll be with them in the beginning. And, you know, it's also not going to help that our daughter does not take naps anymore.
So she started to a little bit.
A little bit, but like later in the day, but because she goes outside and the hot sun and stuff like that, and she gets drained. But you know, it's gonna be harder for me because she doesn't take naps. You know, usually kids are supposed to take naps midday, and she does it closer to her nap time, to her bedtime. So I'm not gonna be able to take a nap. And I used to take a nap with her when she was a baby. And now I can't do that. And it's going to make me really sad.
You can try bringing it back. You know, kids like to copy each other. So maybe she sees the baby taking a nap.
I mean, the baby's going to be sleeping all the time.
And I say the baby's going to...
Hopefully.
Like, you'd be like, oh, the baby's taking a nap. I think mommy's going to take a nap. And then maybe she'll be like, maybe I could take a nap. But she's probably not.
Well, I wouldn't be able to sleep, you know, knowing that she'd be awake, trying, you know, maybe trying to get close to the baby. You know, then I'll be like...
I mean, she'd have to sleep in her own room or something. I think it's funny. Well, I think it's funny now because she's not doing it right now. But, you know, how she does this thing where she, you know, our daughter, you know, you tell her not to do something. And she just... And I always do like... I try to like replace it with something else, you know. Like if she wanted to... I don't know. Like brush... her teeth or something, but she doesn't know how, so I'll be like, I was like, no, let me brush your teeth right now, and then you could brush it after. And then she just goes, no, like she just starts like, no, like what? No, I want to do it now.
No.
Like, you know, I brush it. I brush it. So I feel like that's what's gonna be like no, you can't hold the baby, she's too little. Like you can hold your doll. No, I want to hold the baby. Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be interesting. But I think, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to set my expectations to like, just kind of like a realistic, like, I don't know. Like without a shadow of a doubt, I absolutely have no idea what's going to happen. So.
And I mean, that's how we were with our first child too. So it should be interesting. You know, luckily we do have family here. And yeah, you know, I do think it'll be a little bit harder with family just because lots of input and
It brings its own set of challenges.
Yeah. But they are definitely a blessing to have,
Yeah.
Especially, I could always, tell your mom, like, take this one and I will take care of this one.
Yeah, right. Let me take care of the one that doesn't need my constant
Yeah.
attention. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about the toddler, by the way.
Yes.
A baby.
Take the 2-year-old.
Yeah, the baby needs attention, but a baby knows, like, hey, I'm gonna rest right now.
Yeah.
But like a toddler's like, look at me, be with me all the time.
Yeah. And then our 2-year-old, she's like, I think she knows because the baby's coming soon, But like in the car when we're driving, because we live right outside of El Paso, a couple of towns down, so it takes us a while to drive into El Paso. But when we do, our daughter is constantly, Mama, 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 Mama. I was just like, yes, can I help you? What do you want?
Yeah. Mama. Why is she called Daddy sometimes? What does she do? Yeah, her thing is like sometimes we'll come back home from like kind of late and it's like night outside and she'll be like, Mama, that moon. She's like asking where the moon is, and like so now she's like a maniac. She's trying to find the moon. Like I don't even know where the damn moon. I don't think there is a moon right now.
I was like, the moon's hiding. And she's like, Mama, moon's hiding?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just like, I don't know. It's weird.
And then like a couple minutes later, Mama, moon, where'd it go? I don't know. The moon's still hiding.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Or she'll like drop something. She's like, Mama. Yes. Dropped it. You dropped it? Yes. Yeah, I can't get it for you. I can't reach.
They're like the most boring newscasters of all time. They're constantly reporting like a very updated information of everything that's happening. Like this just in, I dropped my water again.
But like it's like a constant because of like even if I do get it, she'll drop it again and she'll be like, Mama.
Yeah.
Yes, I dropped it. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, well you have to wait. And then a couple minutes later, yeah. Mama, dropped it. I know, I told you to wait.
It's like you can imagine like it's like a combination of like a really boring like Twitter feed and like a group message. Like it's just she always wants to CC you and everything. Like it's like she updating you on everything, and you're just getting those notifications like, get me out of this group. I don't want to be here anymore.
And then she'll be like, Mama, Dada driving. Yes, Daddy is driving.
Yes, very good observation there.
Mama, Daddy driving. Yes, you already told me that. But it's always me. Like she's always
not Mama. Always, but it's been
It's been me.
Hey, look, listen. I don't know why. I don't know if it's. Because I think it happens to. I think mainly the mothers. You guys are always complaining, like sometimes, like why is it always Daddy? How come they never happy to see Mommy? But then sometimes it's the roles are reversed.
Like I know,
and you girls are like, leave me alone.
Well, and I get it. I'm with her constantly. Yeah. She knows she could depend on me, and I'm always there. So I'm the first person she goes to. I get that, and yes, I would get butthurt. If she just goes to you, and I'd probably cry because
you have cried before.
Because I'm hey, I am pregnant. I am emotional.
No, you did that before. Like you get all sad and like mad at me. I'm like, what am I doing?
Because you're letting it happen. No, but
I'm supposed to push her away. Be like, get away from me. Go to your mother. Just be like super icy.
It's like you want them to want you.
Yeah.
But then, like, when they want you way too much, you're like, okay, that's enough. Like, you can go somewhere else. And then when they don't want you, you just, like, you break down.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
being a parent is just so many emotions. You just, like, you can't get yourself together.
You think about them as, like, having these complex thoughts of, like she's doing this to get back at me or something. Like,
she hates me.
But I'm just like, I don't know. She thought that taking a bite out of a urinal was a good idea. So I don't know how complex her thoughts are really. I don't think how rational they are.
Being a parent is hard.
It is. But we love.
I mean, there's plenty of days where you're just like, I'm messing my child up. Like that's
Yeah,
it.
no, for sure.
They're doomed.
You're constantly, yeah. It's like you're always thinking that you might be ruining them. Like
Yes.
you're doing everything constantly wrong.
I mean, I've broken down so many times, and you know, I'm also not one of those people who like to break down in public, and thankfully I've never really done that, but I'm like more emotional with this pregnancy. And there was one time at Walmart where I was like, I was about to break down, and oh my goodness, it's just it takes something out of you.
It takes a while. I mean, it takes a lot. You know, I said it before. It's like being a parent is like 10%, like constantly trying to do the best thing for your child, and then 90% feeling like you're doing the
worst thing.
everything wrong. Yeah, that's how it feels like most of the time. But you know, it's that 10% that you know I think most people that are parents live in. And you know what? And like, I'm gonna say something that I'm not supposed to say. People are gonna be like offended or whatever. But not everybody can do this. And I think there's a lot of people who agree with me on that.
Well, I agree.
Whatever
I mean,
that means to you, okay? Whatever that means to you. I'm not gonna start saying like, you know, that's why this and this. I'm just saying whatever that means to you. I don't think everybody can do this because it's hard.
It really isn't for everybody, you know, and you know it changes you,
Yeah.
and it changes your lifestyle. You know, it changes your lifestyle. It changes the way you think. It changes everything.
Right.
You know, it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready for those types of changes, you know, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
You know, even if you are ready for those changes, it's still so hard.
Yeah.
And
It does a lot for you emotionally, like mentally, because it doesn't just because we're talking about how it does change you, you know. But people think
like,
it's like
breaks you down.
People
sometimes.
I think people think of it always like, oh, it's like all of a sudden I'm gonna be like all crazy about like where my kids are. But it doesn't just do that. It also solidifies a lot of the stuff that you didn't really pay attention to in your mind, a lot of your morals, a lot of like your biases, you know, about certain things, you know, like. I had never really thought about like fabric softener or like, you know, like soap. Like I never thought about that.
Or a lotion.
Yeah. Like, do I really care what am I, and the moment that I had to choose wipes, I was like, I'm getting non-scented. Like, I don't know. I just like, I'm not going to put scents on my kid cause I don't want them to get a rash.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never thought about that ever. For some reason, that was in the back of my mind, and when I was there, sitting there, like waiting to buy some wipes, I was like, I'm gonna get non-scented because I don't want my kid to have a rash. Like what? Like where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? Like I never sat around going like, you know, when I have a kid, I want to make sure he doesn't get an allergic reaction. Like it was just really weird. Like that's like a kind of like a mild example, but certain things like that are just gonna stir in you, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, like this is. I didn't know that I felt so strongly about this.
Yeah.
And with that being said, some certain people, if you have like doubts, you know, perhaps, you know, you have a child and then you have even more doubts about, you know, your relationship or even you as a person, if you could be a provider, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just keep in mind. I mean, I don't know. We're not trying to discourage anyone from getting pregnant or encourage anyone to get pregnant. It's whatever you do, you know, just be mindful that it's going to do something to you, whether you like it or not. It's going to change you for the best, for the worst. Is that a fly again?
Yeah.
We need to kill these mother truckers. I'm gonna get one of those like fly swatters. That has,
I mean, because like since we're like way out here, like way past the city, there's just so many bugs.
I mean, we live literally. There's a canal like right in our backyard. So just running through a bunch of bugs in there. But yeah, you know, it's gonna be crazy, and we're definitely more than well aware that, you know, it's our whole lives are going to be changing.
Yeah, we've done it once. You know, this is our second time around, and it's
our social life's going to be gone. We have zero social.
Oh my god, seriously!
Like we have literally no social life.
I mean, we got invited to a party today.
Again,
but like they always do it like last minute. There's like 2 hours.
Yeah, if you guys are listening, you know who you are.
like we always get invited like 2 hours before the party. Like, oh, we're gonna have a party at 10. And it's like 8:00, and we're like,
oh yeah.
We have a 2-year-old?
By the way, you gotta stop. I don't know if you guys are doing this on purpose. You think it's funny, when you ask somebody with a toddler to be like, "Oh, just bring them."
Oh.
Like, oh, so you just want me to never talk to you? Like you just don't want to have a conversation?
When they're infants and they're babies and they don't do much, all right, I can pay attention to you. I can have a conversation with you. But when they're running around and they have their own personality,
I'm not enjoying myself. I mean, no.
Like your focus is like 5% on them,
yeah,
like on the people, then like 95% on your child.
Well, also because if you think about it, it's like you're asking me to bring like a part of like my home, like a part of my home, like the way I interact with my family and stuff, and it's not like a pleasant thing, and like you're asking me to come and just like show that to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's awkward, you're uncomfortable. And like sometimes, I mean, I don't know, I've kind of gotten over this. Like some people like think it's like, oh my God, like why are you making a scene or whatever? Like if my kid needs to be
disciplined, I'm
gonna say redirected. Cause
redirected.
People think I abuse my kid. I don't. I'm saying like if my kid needs to be redirected or I need to like put my foot down, like I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But like it's different when you're in a social situation where there's a lot of people and the people are trying to have a good time. And it's just weird, like you don't want to be...
Yeah, like everyone's like trying to have fun and you're like yelling at your kid like, hey, put that down.
I know, and then people's like, what's wrong? And I'm just like, what do you mean what's wrong? Like, you asked me to come and like bring this part of like my life that, it's not always pleasant. And you just want me to just like show it to everyone. Look how...
Like, yeah, sometimes it can be pleasant and cute and like... but like most of the time it's like you're keeping your eye on them, making sure they're not grabbing something they're not supposed to. And,
right. I mean, it's and we're not talking. I mean, obviously, there's times where we have brought her and like it's like a family function or something, but like it's different when you're trying to hang out with like your friends, and it's also different when your friends don't have kids.
Yeah.
You're trying to hang out with your friends that don't have kids.
Yeah. And, these friends don't, except for one of them, which do, but they have a baby.
Yeah. Oh, those days are great.
Oh,
by the way,
yes.
Enjoy those days. If anybody's in that situation right now, you can, like your baby is like really small and you can still go out. And it's really easy to have somebody just come over and be like, just watch him. We're just going to go out for like an hour or something, right? Just watch him. Boom. There's the bottle.
Or you could just take the child with you because they're not doing much.
Yeah.
Like
you're sleeping upstairs or something. Yeah.
Like maybe they'll cry a little bit and but that's like easy to handle, but
yeah.
when they get to the age where they're talking, they're grabbing things, they're walking around, they don't want to be in one spot for too long. It's
listen, man, like if you think it's uncomfortable, if you ever been to somebody's house that have like older children and like you see like the parents like, or like just go to like a family member that has like smaller children, like you remember seeing like kind of how that awkward moment, like everybody's kind of quiet as the mother is like yelling at the kid and like you gotta go to your room and like I told you not to do this. How uncomfortable that was, like when you were at your friend's house and like your friends just getting like chewed out by their mom or something. Like why would you want that at your party?
Yeah,
like, that's all I'm saying. Like, and this is just a very specific scenario. I'm not saying that this happens to everybody. If you have a child that you can take anywhere and wow,
nice,
that's awesome. I'm gonna give you a high five from in here. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what we got. We've been talking for like an hour. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, we could talk about this all the time. I mean,
like
we're just gonna keep coming up.
Like parenting is it's a wide range of
we are
things.
still buffering. As like I said, we're like at what, like 10%. I don't even know. That seems like kind of really high.
10%.
We're still loading. Like we're loading the full parenting experience. Like we're still loading. Like we're not even. It's like we're waiting for the kilobytes to turn to megabytes and the gigabyte. I don't even know. We're watching the counter and it's going really slow.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure this thing out.
So, stay tuned for our third one. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what that's gonna happen. I don't know.
Okay, if there's a third one,
a third one, we don't know.
I mean,
people's like
the process of when I was having our first child. Okay, before having our first child, I had told Greg that I wanted 4 kids. That's when we were, still dating, getting to know it, like, still like super in love. We were figuring out our future. I was like, I want 4 kids, and I still wanted 4 kids. And then I went to, when I was in labor with our first child, I went to wanting 4 kids to telling him, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, like just one.
In the process of labor, I was like, no, not again.
Yeah.
And then once she came out, I looked at him and I was like, maybe one more time. But
one more.
maybe one more time. And then that's it.
And, and we were, I mean, I don't know. I guess you kind of get, I mean, it's really easy to get like roped into thinking like, oh, like you're just going to have both kids right off the bat. Like you're going to have the boy and the girl. And I think that was like our problem.
Yeah, we kind of wanted the boy and the girl, but
we have 2 girls now, but now people are like, well, you should get the boy. And I'm just like, okay. Okay. But like, you understand.
There's a possibility of having a third girl.
People's like, I just sit down. People's like, first of all, let me talk to you about it. Cause let's make it perfectly clear. You're not going to raise these kids. Like we're going to have to do it. We have to, provide for these kids. Secondly, if it was that easy to just make a boy, like then I would have had a boy. I would have done it already. Exactly. And thirdly, there's a possibility that we might have another girl, which at this point in time we would have 3 girls. So you're saying to just go for it, like even after all that, you still and people, hey, yeah, you should get the boy. I was like, oh my gosh, people don't understand because I mean, 2 girls sounds crazy. 3 girls, that sounds insane.
Yeah, you'd be really outnumbered.
I mean, yeah.
You're already outnumbered.
I mean, I've been taking estrogen. But trying to relate to y'all.
I mean, like seriously, I'm for right now we're sticking with our 2. We'll see what the future has for us.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try for the boy. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll adopt. Maybe we won't. We're still like, let's figure out these 2 girls first.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a kind of like an interesting position. Like, I think I don't know. I think sometimes you can kind of see when you're talking about the future, like it's really hard sometimes to see like a cap, you know what I'm saying? Like when are we going to get to whatever, from A to Z, when are we going to get to Z, and like when it comes to that, I feel like we're kind of getting closer to like that cap where we can kind of say, I mean, we're actually considering like not even like getting dogs, like after our dogs, we can go on to the doggy heaven or whatever.
Once they
expire.
Once they've reached their, life expectancy,
Do we really want, do we really want to do that again? Like our answer lately has been like, probably not.
I mean, in all fairness, right now, the dogs have been getting on my nerves a lot, and I just don't like them.
No,
right
but
now.
it's different, because
but I think it's because I'm pregnant.
It's different, that you don't care. I don't care what everybody says. I mean, you don't care for a dog the same way. I'm not gonna say as much because people think
some people do, but I mean, it's hard.
It's different. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not talking. We're not talking about levels here. I'm saying it's different.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't. What's it called? Like you wouldn't drop everything you're doing to go see your dog do a trick. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like, oh, like my kid needs me to like go see them on a play or something. That's a weird example, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's different levels. But I mean that's just an example of like where our minds are at. Because like I think if you had asked us like a year ago, before we were pregnant again, we probably would have still told you like, oh yeah, we're gonna have, another, we're gonna have a boy, or we're gonna wait until like this and this and that, and then we'll go and then we're gonna try for that boy or whatever, But like now it's like, oh yeah, we had the girl. Do we want the boy? Yeah, but I think we're gonna be fine if we don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, even like with this child right now, this one, we, was a surprise, complete surprise, but completely wanted as well.
In between pills. That's what I'm gonna say. That's how my mom says it, and I think it's like a perfect it's explanation. Yeah, it was in between pills. I mean, that's all it was.
Yeah. And but I forgot what I was going with.
Sorry to interrupt you with the in between pills.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
I am pregnant. My train of thought is not as great as it used to be.
I had to sneak that in there, because you start saying like, oh, she was a surprise. People start thinking crazy stuff. Excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you.
Whoa.
Are you done?
Was that the first sneeze on podcast? Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh man, now my nose is all runny. Ugh.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot what I was going to say.
But,
wow.
We are very grateful. We feel very blessed.
Oh, I remember what I was going to
say. Yeah, I was usually just start talking and see if you remember.
Well, no, I was saying that, when we first had our daughter, we talked about, about the range that we wanted to have our second one. And, even if she was, a surprise, the second one, she's pretty much at the timeline we said that we wanted to have our second one too. We're like, once our first one is potty trained and she has no diapers, and like around 2, because we want them to be close in age, and then and then we moved here, and then we're like, oh, okay, well, it's not a good time, because you're going back to school, we didn't really have a place to live, and
which is a big thing.
Yeah, we didn't have a place to live. We didn't have that much of a direction yet. We're still trying to figure that out, because we're just out of the military, and we're trying to figure being back in the civilian world and trying to figure out where we wanted our life to go. I mean, I was gonna go back to school, and then boom, we found out we were pregnant again. And she came in around the time, she's coming around the time we said that we'd want our second child, but I mean, it was a complete surprise, and she's completely wanted. She is our blessing.
Yeah, she's a blessing baby. I mean, all babies are blessings.
Yes, but
except for Chucky.
He's a doll. Well,
he's a person first.
Yeah, he was a serial killer first, and then transferred his soul.
I don't know why I thought about Chucky, because he's like a little toy.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
But
oh, jeez. What? Now I'm just thinking about that How I Met Your Mother episode where she's like, "What did he say?" Ah, darn it. I forgot what they were talking about. Jeez, never mind. This is someone else. She went down the drain the moment I came up with
it. But yeah, things happen, that you don't expect, and they happen for the better.
Yeah.
And you just have to work through it and trial and error, because
God bless America.
Yeah, I mean, you started talking to me and I lost my train of thought, so I'm trying to.
I know. I can see you trying to piece it. I can see you trying to piece it together. Like, it's just like
my brain is not the same right now. I am sorry, everybody, especially people who know me. I'm usually a little bit better.
I'm just like picturing.
But I am totally not articulate right now, and my brain's just mush. This baby has made my brain mush. With our first baby, I was pretty good. My brain wasn't that bad. I still remembered a lot of things. I wasn't that emotional. This one, just my brain's mush. When super emotional, brain's mush.
I was watching you trying to say that sentence, and I was picturing the famous Lucille Ball. Lucy scene where the chocolates are coming in, and at first
you try and get the chocolates.
Yeah, then after a while there's just too many, you're just throwing them up in the air, that's kind of
stuffing them in my bra, putting them in my mouth.
I was like, what is going on? She's falling apart,
and you're just watching me.
I was like, whoa, let's see if
you just can't look away.
Let's see if she can get it back there, folks. No, you couldn't.
Nope.
Even faster. Oh, geez. Oh, damn it. I'm sorry.
You see me drowning and you're not doing anything to help.
I really wanted to think of that stupid scene from How I Met Your Mother. That wasn't stupid. It was a great scene.
So,
anyway.
You think we're scatterbrained now. Just wait till this baby comes.
Yeah. And I don't even know how that's going to affect the podcast, to tell you all the truth. But hopefully we can keep this thing going. We will.
We will, but we might be a little bit more scatterbrained in the beginning because we're still adjusting and stuff. But you might even hear baby noises because the baby might join us.
Yeah, maybe the baby will be around. Maybe I'll have to, kind of
go solo
while you're doing stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. But we're gonna wrap this up because we're an hour and 20 minutes. We're almost an hour.
I mean, we could, like you said, we could probably talk about this
we could
all the time. We'd definitely veer off into different things because that's usually what we do. But we could probably talk about this.
But the main idea is that we're excited, we're happy, we're having this new baby.
Anytime now.
Anytime. Yeah. So we're just waiting, see what's going to happen. You guys, I'm sorry, probably won't be the first to know. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll put it on Instagram or something. Be like,
well, I mean, I'm gonna put it on social media. Like, I made this.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about as far as the podcast followers. Make sure you follow us at Reject Bean Podcast at Instagram, and Panico Hispanico is the Snapchat. I'll probably put it on Instagram. I don't know. I'm not too active on Snapchat, but
on Instagram it's not Reject Bean Podcast. It's just Reject Bean.
Oh, it's Reject Bean Soup. Wow. Yeah. Sorry. Scratch that. If you're going over there looking at it, you're not gonna find it.
Just get your pen. Just scratch that off.
Scratch that. Yeah, go ahead and scratch that off. It's Reject Bean Soup. So I was trying to do like a funny teaser earlier. We're trying to hook up this guest. We're trying to get this guest. I don't want to overhype it, and I don't even want to say too much about it because his schedule's a little bit busy. So, I guess it's a he. I already told you it's a he. But this particular guest that we're trying to have on next, is a little bit more higher profile, I would say. He's a little bit of kind of a local celebrity. Not everybody knows him, but I mean, he's pretty famous, for us. I mean, the fact that he has his own business and everything. I'm not gonna get too much into it. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to overhype it because if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna feel really stupid for talking about it.
I mean, we're trying to make it happen.
It might be our first. I will tell you this: if it does happen, it might be our first video podcast. And we'll see how that is received. I don't want to say that we're gonna start doing video if it does well because I don't know. I kind of like.
Honestly,
you don't want to see us.
Honestly, you don't want to see me right now.
I don't think it's.
And then when the baby comes, you definitely don't want to see me.
It's not gonna add too much. I mean, I think it's cool if we have I don't know only that. If I have a third guest, a fourth guest, more people, yeah, probably with more maybe.
But trust us. At the same time, you don't want to see us.
At the same time, guys, I don't even have a house. Okay, you don't want to trust me. You don't want to see a bunch of guys or a bunch of people talking into microphones in someone's kitchen. It just looks weird. Let's wait till we have a studio or at least a dedicated place. What?
A studio?
A studio? We're gonna buy a studio.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So stay tuned. We're trying to get some more guests. I want to have Mike on again. If you guys remember Mike, he's the one that did the fitness with, and then I have a couple other people that are interested in doing it. So we're trying to get the cool guests for you guys. But
so you just don't hear just us.
Because we're always going to be talking about the same thing. We're going to be talking about stuff we don't understand.
Yep, because we don't understand a lot of things.
This is we could sum up our podcasts are usually so I think about this, but I don't even know. That's usually what we do. That's what we do. We go I really feel like this, but I don't even know. I could change my mind tomorrow. So yeah, but obviously, thank you guys for people who do listen. You guys are a bunch of crazy bastards trying to listen to us just ranting about stuff. Appreciate the support. And yeah, just keep following us. Like I said, Instagram is Reject Bean Soup. Panico Hispanico is a Snapchat, and then obviously the Reject Bean Soup YouTube channel. yeah. So thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for some awesome stuff. So I don't know if you have anything else to say.
Nope. I'm good. I mean, it's you said it all.
Yeah, we're on baby watch now, so just keep an eye out for that.
I mean, I'm 37 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, so it's just kind of baby's full term. Basically, she's just done developing. She's just chilling until she's ready to come out.
I made that pop in it. Cool.
But yeah, so just waiting on that.
Just waiting on that. All right. Well, you guys take care. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day, rest of the week, or whatever you guys listen to this. We'll catch you guys on the next one. And say goodbye to my water dispenser that made a nice little candy there. All right, guys. Take care. See you later.
Bye, everyone.